Welcome to the deep dive. We're going to unpack a single stack of source material today, articles, research, the notes you've shared, basically cutting through the noise to find those interesting nuggets.
That's the plan.
And our mission today, we're plunging into the recent Premier League match, Liverpool versus Crystal Palace, May 25th, 2025. We're working directly from the match report and the stats provided here.
Yep, exactly. We're off to Anfield. Late season game. And it finished 1-1, but definitely not short on drama, was it?
No, not at all. The attendance, it says here, 60,382. A pretty full house.
Right. And what really jumps out from the report right away is how Crystal Palace started this one.
Yeah, they didn't look like a team just seeing out the season, did they? The report mentions that they came out with, well, real confidence.
And, given their FA Cup win, which is mentioned here, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? They had momentum.
Totally. They were sharp right from the whistle.
And it paid off, incredibly quickly. 9 minutes in, Palace score, Ismail Assar.
Assisted by Tyrick Mitchell. The source points to their early pressing, closing Liverpool down fast.
Exactly, not letting them settle. And that counterattacking threat, it was potent. They looked really clinical when they broke.
Must have been a bit of a shock for Liverpool, that early goal. After that, though, the report suggests Liverpool started to, get hold of the ball more.
As you'd expect, yeah. Dominating possession. But actually breaking Palace down, that looked pretty tough.
You saw Liverpool trying, probing, looking for those gaps.
Yeah, you could sort of feel the pressure building. Luis Diaz, he had a couple of decent chances in that first half, according to the report.
Right, one curling shot just wide and then another one later.
Yeah, a left-footed strike. Dean Henderson had to make a good save there, so the Palace keeper was definitely being kept busy.
And speaking of changes and tests, that halftime substitution for Liverpool was interesting. Trent Alexander-Arnold coming on.
Replacing Connor Bradley, yeah. The report notes he got a warm ovation. And you can see why. He has that ability to, unlock things.
And he almost did, didn't he? Straight away.
Pretty much. That pass he played, the report describes it, put Darwin Núñez clean through on goal.
But Henderson again?
Yep. Stood tall, made another really important save. It felt like Liverpool were getting closer, building something.
And then bang, the whole game just flips.
You're talking about the red card, Ryan Gravenberch.
Yeah, the report details it. Yellow card on 61 minutes.
And then, only 7 minutes later? At 68, he gets the red.
He was a second yellow, right, leading to the red.
That's it. Miscontrolled the ball, then brought down Daichi Kamada, who looked like he was breaking away.
Last man foul, essentially.
Yeah, deemed a last man foul.
Okay.
And the report confirms VAR checked it, upheld the decision. So suddenly, Liverpool are down to 10.
Trailing 1-0 as well.
Exactly. With, over 20 minutes left plus stoppage time? That is a huge ask.
It really is. But the report does emphasize Liverpool's resilience here. Even a man down, they didn't just, fold.
No, they kept pushing, didn't they? Looking for that equalizer.
Diogo Jota even hit the post from inside the box. So close.
Inches away, yeah. Could have been the equalizer right there.
But then eventually, 84th minute, it finally comes. Mohamed Salah.
Of course. Gets the goal. Cody Gakpo with the assist.
And the report mentions it took a deflection off Maxence Lacroix on the way in.
Yeah. Bit fortunate maybe, but it went in. 1-1. Crucial goal.
And crucial for more than just the point in this specific game, right? Looking at the stats you provided. This goal, it was Salah's 47th goal involvement for the season.
Yeah, goals plus assists in the Premier League. 47.
Which is just incredible.
It's fascinating because this equals the all-time single-season record. Andrew Cole and Alan Shearer held that.
Wow.
Think about that. That level of consistent impact over a whole season, my take on that is just, wow. It underlines how vital he is. He's not just scoring, he's creating constantly.
He really is the engine for so much of their attack. It's an amazing achievement.
Up alley.
Okay, but we should definitely give Crystal Palace their credit, too. The report highlights how determined they were, especially after going ahead.
Oh, definitely. Protecting that lead. And as we said, Henderson's saves were massive.
They weren't just sitting back defending, though, were they?
No, not entirely. They still showed flashes of that counterattack that got them the goal. Jean-Philippe Mateta, he actually had a goal disallowed for offside.
Okay. He's high up the scorer charts, too, mentioned here.
Yeah, 14 goals for the season. And he also hit the crossbar in this game. So, they could have potentially gotten 2-0 up.
Close margins. And looking at the bigger picture for Palace, the source material gives context. They finished 12th.
Which sounds maybe, mid-table. But the key thing is they qualified for the UEFA Europa League.
That's huge for them. First time ever in Europe, it says.
Exactly. A genuinely historic achievement. So that European spot really puts this match and their whole season into perspective.
Earning a point at Anfield against the champions final day, it feels like a really fitting end for them, doesn't it?
It really does. Especially after hitting the woodwork and having a goal ruled out, it shows they can compete, properly compete, with the very best. My analysis is that it caps off a truly successful history-making season for Palace.
And for Liverpool, well, they went into this match already champions. Title secured.
Jumped on that front, yeah.
But the report does mention their recent form hadn't been amazing. A 3-match winless run before this one.
Including a loss to Brighton, yeah. So maybe, a slight dip after clinching the title, which can happen.
Understandable, perhaps.
But the main prize was in the bag. And the source mentions the parade was planned for the next day, so the big celebration was coming regardless. Season's main objective achieved.
Okay, let's zoom out slightly and dig into those season stats a bit more. Beyond just this game, the numbers give us another layer, don't they?
They do. Look at the top scorers listed in the sources. Salah, way out in front with 29.
Then Mateta with 14, Luis Diaz with 13.
And we saw all three have an impact in this match, didn't we? Salah scored, Mateta nearly scored twice, Diaz forced those saves. My opinion here is these guys really are the talismans for their attacks.
Yeah, the sharp edge. And assists. Salah, again, leading with 18.
Which just reinforces that incredible 47-goal involvement figure we talked about.
Then Eberechi Eze with 8 for Palace, and Trent Alexander-Arnold with 6 for Liverpool.
So again, you see the main creators reflected in the stats, and we saw Mitchell get the assist for Palace's goal, Gakpo for Liverpool's. Trent created that big Nunez chance. It lines up.
It really does. And defensively, top tacklers listed. Daniel Munoz for Palace, 123 tackles. That's a lot.
That's a massive number. It really suggests, either a very active defensive strategy, pressing high, or maybe just having to do a lot of defending.
Then Alexis McAllister for Liverpool with a 95, Tarek Mitchell with 91.
Mitchell's number there, alongside his assist, just shows incredible work rate up and down that left side for Palace. And McAllister, key part of Liverpool's midfield engine room, breaking things up.
Yeah, it paints a picture, doesn't it? Key players putting in huge shifts all season. Let's just quickly touch on the head-to-head history that's provided here.
Right, the historical data. It shows, pretty clear Liverpool dominance over the years. 20 wins for Liverpool, 6 for Palace, 6 draws out of 32 matches played.
So Anfield, historically a very tough place for Palace to come.
Definitely. But the source also notes recent meetings, including this 1-1 draw, and there's that 1-0 Palace win at Anfield back in April 2024.
Yes, I remember that.
It suggests Palace have become a much trickier opponent for Liverpool lately. They're finding ways to get results, even away against the champions.
Shows how things can change, doesn't it? Even with that historical weight.
Absolutely. The fixture has definitely evolved.
Yeah.
Palace are making these games really competitive now.
Okay, so to sort of pull it all together, Palace started strong, got that early goal, showed their threat. Liverpool fought back, had that massive setback with the Gravenberch red card.
Big moment.
But showed that champions' determination, didn't they? Dug deep, found the equalizer through Salah.
And Salah gets his name in the history books again, with that record-equaling goal involvement stat. Just amazing.
So a match that maybe for Liverpool wasn't title deciding, but still had significance. And for Palace, hugely significant, capping off that historic European qualification season with a point at Anfield.
Yeah, confirming their place in Europe next season. What a way to finish for them.
It really leaves you thinking, doesn't it? What does grinding out a point with 10 men and seeing your star player equal a massive record actually mean when you've already won the league? Is it just proof of that ingrained winning mentality even when the main pressure's off?
Or maybe just an interesting footnote. Depends on your perspective, I suppose.
Or maybe flip it.
Yeah.
How significant is that whole journey for Crystal Palace? Finishing 12th, getting into Europe for the first time ever, and then sealing it with a battling point away at the champions. Does that single point kind of summarize the belief and the progress they've made this entire season?
Definitely something for you, the listener, to ponder as you reflect on these sources we've unpacked today.